What is going on, everybody? We're back on it. Saturday afternoon, My Hero Academia, Season 4, Episode 15. Judging by the opening, it looks like we're taking a complete right turn. Probably my least favorite opening. I don't know. You guys kind of let me know what you think of the opening. Um, I think this might have been one of the first openings where we didn't have any kind of action sequences or any kind of villains, unless there was somebody that was a villain that I'm just not familiar with yet. Um, but it's looking like we're kind of going to take the same recipe that we took with last season. You know, we kind of had that big kind of intense all for one and all might stuff going on. Then after that, it kind of, calmed down. Then we did the kind of schools going against each other for their licenses. But it was a lot more like slice of life and the kids interacting with one another. No real big threats going on. And then towards the end of the season, they introduced, the next big baddie or the next kind of big conflict, and then the season ended, and we took that into, the following season. I'm guessing that's going to be the same recipe for here. We had that whole overhaul build up, and it built up. We had the climax, and then it ended. I'm guessing we're going to it's going to be a lot. I'm guessing the episodes are going to be a lot less stressful, calming down a lot more. And a lot of more of the kids interacting with each other, because we haven't had any like Todoroki or Bakugo this season, which I doubt they've just been removed from the story. So I'll be interested to see what parts they play. And then I guess just moving on from this arc, a lot of you told me, and I saw it all over the place, that this arc that we just ended, I don't even know what you call it. We'll just call it the overhaul arc. It split a lot of the manga readers down the middle. Either you really liked it or you really disliked it. And after me kind of like looking around and looking at other reactors and judging kind of like the temperature on Twitter and some of like the forums and stuff, it looks kind of the same for anime only watchers as well. You either really enjoyed it or you really disliked it and kind of it just wasn't for you. I'm kind of in the middle. I feel like it had its moments, but overall, overall, it wasn't my favorite arc. It was just hard to place, and I don't know. Granted, it gave us one of the best animated fights we've ever had in all 4 seasons. They knew where to put that that animation budget. Some great shots. I mean, the things they did with Overhaul in the fights and in those episodes of him just like dismembering himself, putting himself back together. If his arm was broken, just kind of like touching it, getting rid of it, putting it back. It made for some great moments, but the arc as a whole, I don't know. I'm kind of in the middle, leaning towards like it. I didn't really like it, but we'll just take it and we'll move forward. We'll kind of leave it in the past. I don't want to keep harping on things. Just to get it out of the way, like one last time, my kind of, I guess, biggest gripes were kind of using Mirio as a launching off point for Deku, having Overhaul's 8 bullets or 8 arms kind of just be fodder, really. Still haven't got an explanation on how Night Eye's quirk came to not be. I understand that you have 2 people that kind of deal with time, so they can kind of counteract each other's abilities. But when you have somebody that literally sees the unknown, how he didn't see what Eri would be able to do with Deku makes it hard to believe that he didn't see how Deku could win. He even made comments like, Overhaul and Deku are going to fight on the surface. Deku's going to lose. He's going to get Eri and escape. So clearly he saw Eri, commit herself to Deku and side with Deku and think that he could save her, and him strapping her on her back. I feel like Night Eye saw all that. So the bigger question you have to ask is, maybe the only other explanation that could make sense to me is maybe Night Eye saying his visions always come true. Maybe that's not the case. I don't know what sways or what could change it. Again, I've just been told a lot of like, well, it's another person that has a quirk that deals with time, and when those things go together, things can be unwritten or undone. I just find it hard to believe he didn't see everything that Deku did versus Overhaul with Eri, and still came to that same conclusion. So just those kind of things. And now I guess the bigger question moving forward is, now with Night Eye's death, unfortunately, um, what becomes of Eri? What becomes of Mirio? Um, and then I guess what becomes of the League of Villains? Again, Shigaraki's never been my favorite villain, all because I kind of feel, I mean, he is the polar opposite of Deku. He's just been kind of handed the keys to the palace and say, here, you do, like, you just take it. All for One just gave him everything, and not gave him everything, but pretty much it's going to be hard for Shigaraki to fail. Um, and I haven't had that connection because we've never seen that conviction of Shigaraki's. Like, what is it? What is it that he wants? Does he just want to see the world burn, or does he just want to get back at All Might, or does he just want to destroy Deku? Like, what is it that you want? Like, Stain, we knew what his conviction was. Overhaul, whether you agreed with it or not, we knew what he wanted to accomplish. So maybe Shigaraki will grow on me as we, get further and further. We find out more about him. I will say that was one of the darkest moments we've had of My Hero Academia at the end of last episode when um, Compress and Shigaraki got rid of Overhaul's arms. I wonder how he ever, I guess, uses his quirk again. I don't think he can use it with his feet. Does he need his hands? Can he just touch with his arms? He's going to need some regeneration thing, or he's not quirkless, but unless he can somehow get his hands back, they've got somebody out there with a regeneration quirk, which they do, because we heard, I mean, who knows how many they're up there and how they'll be able to use it. But All for One, had things as far as regeneration and growth and going with him. So there's people out there that have it. Will he have access to it? A lot of you said maybe hold out hope that we'll get like a prison escape arc and all the villains will get back out. As far as like, Stain and, All for One and Overhaul, that would be some shit at the end. Like when our guys have really kind of like come into their own, the Todorokis, the Bakugos, the Dekus, everybody's kind of like gotten it. That'll be wild to see all the villains back out there and us having to deal with it. It's almost setting up too perfectly. Like every single villain we come across is getting captured and locked away. I feel like it almost makes the story's almost pointing us in that direction to like have some way that they like get out and they escape. That would be some good stuff. But as far as Eri goes, does she? I doubt anything happens with I don't know, like, because we don't really know what the extent of what she can do. Can she revert All Might back to before the injury? And if she does that, does he go back to his buff form? And when he goes back to his buff form, does he have any remnants of One for All still left in him? I know we had the imagery of the flame like burning out with him when he was in his last fight. Was that just the flame? Was that the flame of One for All burning out, or was that the flame of kind of his body, his stamina, what he's going to be able to do in his current, physical form? And does she do anything for Mirio? And does she play any part in the story at all? I don't know. Maybe they just like tell us something like Eri's been looked after, taken care of, and they're working with her to get a better grasp on her quirk, and that's kind of how they like write her off to the side. Or is she going to be an integral part of healing and helping and Mirio and X, Y, and Z? So we'll see. We'll go ahead and get this started. Past arc is done. Let's just take My Hero Academia moving forward, see what it has to offer. So we are 2 minutes and 50 seconds in. Pressing play right now. Here we go. Uh-oh. What's he looking for out there in the mountains? Is he going against Shigaraki? Gonna try to capture him. Smoldering flames. Here we go. Boom, 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 boom. Woo! That man's moving. That easy? Wild man. What is he doing out there? Who's this masked man? This wild man? Who's this vigilante? Uh-oh. Are you gonna knock this dude out, or you're gonna try to deal with him and whatever this is at the same time? If I go away in the future, then you will be the only one who can protect. Yeah. At that time, if you ever feel uneasy, rely on him. Shigaraki was not the only one that man raised. Was this like his backup leader? If Shigaraki didn't work, this was the plan? Name fits the description. What's this big ass ham radio he's got around his neck? So Kuogiri's been going out there kind of befriending him and making sure like, hey, if I need you. Digging the episode so far. The fact that they only had like one couple cars transporting this man, like where is the protection? Yeah, y'all got a little too deep in there. Alright. So this is our little transition episode. She's still having issues from that. I really wonder what ends up happening with Mirio. I hope there's some way to get his quirk back. I mean, there is. I feel like if Eri can revert time, maybe to before he manifested his quirk, and then he could just manifest it. um, God, I hope he gets his quirk back. Jesus. Yeah, he's had a lot. I will not rest until that man Mirio gets his quirk back. And then it's the thing, like, who does Deku chase now? Who's always going to be one step ahead of him that he needs to try to reach out and grab? Oh no. Episode buffering. Alright, we're good. I mean, Bakugo and Todoroki, they're almost all even trading positions. They're in competition, but like you always need somebody that's better than you. He's starting to regret that it was given him. If that were possible, he doesn't know. Wait. Shit, don't you dare get my hopes up like that. Don't say it. I'm gonna be rooting for that man. I saw something there. I don't know what he saw. Maybe he just saw that Mirio will become a fine hero. Quirk or not. Oh, man. The fact that he's so positive about it, too. Damn. Mirio. Mirio's the hero we need in times like this. Uh-oh. Damn, that Mirio stuff. Hit you in the feels. They're going to get their licenses. Bakugo's just comedic relief at this point. I'm interested to see these two back. I mean, I've never been like a huge Bakugo fan, but I'm interested to get back to the kids, you know? Do the other kids know what went down? Yet, maybe? I'm sure they'll find out. Ruh-roh. I mean, if you're giving out free chocolate cake, Kaminari, best boy. Seeing all the kids again, it's making me remember the opening. The new opening made me feel like I was watching like a K-pop high school drama. Look at Todoroki in the black on black turtleneck. Let's do our best, as Shigaraki would say. He's got a bunch of questions. Everybody's in there like winter clothes. Okay. There wasn't anything she could have done. She's lucky he made it that far. Thinking back, there's no way they can tease us with that Eri and Mirio stuff, and Mirio saying, I'm gonna find a way to get my quirk back, and him not get his quirk back. Rabbit. You know, Bakugo's super tight about that. They got licenses to get. They don't have time for these. Yo, he looks clean in that black on black turtleneck. And Kirishima was hollow at one point, unless that was just like an animation thing, but it would be so dope if, you know, a couple arcs down the line, Mirio's involved in the fight or the big baddie or whatever it might be, and us as viewers don't know that he's gotten his quirk back. Like, we've just been seeing him, you know, fight crime. It's just like kind of just, you know, a hand to hand combat person. And then it really comes down to maybe Deku can't defeat somebody, or, you know, something happens and Mirio's on the scene and he's like just running in there and we're like, what the fuck is happening? And he just permeates right through something. Oh my god. I'd lose my mind. And people, I wonder, is there any side effects that Deku is still feeling from the, you know, the being rewound so many times? There's a lot of talk online that like he looks straight up younger. Like he might have been rewound a year or so, years possibly. Uh-oh, we're buffering. We're almost to the end. Just hold on. I've got to see if there's an after credit too as well. Like I wonder, like we saw Mirio talking about, could she rewind me till back to when I had a quirk? Is there anything she can do for All Might? I mean, you're not going to introduce All Might back into the story because it 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 lessens what the kids need to do if All Might is just back on the scene as All Might. So he's never going to come back, but I would be interested to see what she could do for him. Oh god, just jab that man in the forehead. Wow, they've got to use him with the girl, with Eri. So did they capture him? How did they? Oh yeah, I totally forgot about that. Are they going to take us back or other one? Letting that go. They would have rather, you know. Yeah. How did they keep Kurogiri restrained this whole time and him not warp the hell out of there? I'd love to see All Might go against that. Golly. I wonder how that one stacks up to the original Nomu as far as like absorption and power and all that stuff. Good to see Todoroki back in the story. Oh shit. Why'd you have to say isn't the former #1 hero? Come on now. Have we not calmed down at all, Endeavor? I would love to see the two of them have a conversation. If Endeavor actually wants to engage in a conversation and not just a degrading conversation. I wonder if we'll get an episode of these two actually getting their license, or it's just going to be them getting their license. He hung up. Oh, he ran in All Might. Oh, shit. Didn't he say at the end of it he still hates him? But he hates him a little bit less? Where the hell did they find her? Because we had no idea where she was. What did Toga do with her? Tie her up in a closet? Where'd you find her? Is that her? I hope. Is it just them? That's it? Oh, and Meat Boy said he was just coming to watch. He has no intentions of. So we have a new ending, but we can watch that on our own time, I guess. I need to see if there's an after credit. Because you know how My Hero does. Ever since you guys told me to check for after credits, I don't think I've ever had one. Whoa, look at all the after credit shots with Todoroki, and those are some dope shots. Whoa, 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 whoa. Was that preview or was that? Okay, we don't do previews around these parts. Honestly, I thought that was a pretty solid transitioning episode. Sometimes the episodes between arcs in all animes sometimes are a little bit down, or you could probably do without. I thought that was pretty solid. We've introduced this new villain who looks to be, I mean, not looks to be, is in with the League of Villains. What control they have over him, I'm not sure. How much control, I mean, I guess Kurogiri doesn't really even matter to the story-wise because he's been captured. But how much he was able to build relationship-wise with him and, I guess, divulge information saying, we need you if Shigaraki ever comes to you, or anything like that, help. I don't know why Kurogiri wasn't able to warp out of there. I know that Gran Torino had, like, his actual body held. But they were able to battle, get him. I mean, that's a huge player off the board. Huge. Probably their biggest player off the board, to be honest. Anybody they could have removed from the league, if you had your chance, you would take him 10 times out of 10. That was interesting to see. The Mirio stuff was great. And I feel like you can't say those things and it not happen at some point. Him getting his quirk back or finding a way to get his quirk back. Again, like I said, it'd be wild a couple arcs from now. He's just out there fighting and Deku needs help or needs saving or Todoroki or somebody does. And he's just running in there and us as viewers don't know he's gotten his quirk back and then he just like phases through something. Oh man, the hype train on that would be wild. And I wonder what she can do for All Might. Again, like I said, you're not going to fully heal and restore All Might if there's. I mean, he's given his power away, but he was also dealing with the injury at the same time. So it's like, yes, Deku becoming stronger lessened what All Might had, but the injury played a huge part as well. So I don't know what that would do story wise as far as would he still have access to any of One for All, even just a little bit in his physical form would be a lot. But I don't see that happening because it puts the chess piece, not just a chess piece, it puts the chess piece back on the board, and it lessens like what everybody else needs to do. So to introduce a healthy All Might back into the story, I just don't see happening for story purposes. But I would like to see, him not be on a ticking time bomb as far as like when he's gonna die because of, past injuries and sicknesses and things like that. Um, I wonder if we'll see Todoroki and Bakugo actually get their licenses, or it's just going to be kind of said like, oh, they passed, they got it. Um, and we'll just kind of see what goes from there. Again, pretty solid episode. I enjoyed it. It was a nice transition episode. Sometimes they flop, but that was pretty solid. We'll see what part that big old ogre has to play. I don't know if it's going to be one of those things where he just needs like one good hard punch from Deku. It's going to be a collaborative effort where you'll need like pro heroes and students and X, Y, and Z. But we'll see how it goes. Pretty solid, and we'll go from there. So this will go up. Time is it right now? 1:45. Hopefully you guys will see this by 2:30 p.m. And we'll keep it moving. We're on the road to 6,000 subscribers. So if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. Monday we will have Hunter x Hunter episode 139, which I've already watched, and I've already watched Wednesday's 140 episode. A lot of discussions for those. Tuesday, YouTube, you guys will be getting, Tuesday and Thursday, you'll be getting Code Geass, I think 20 and 21 of Season 2. Patreon, we have Episode 3 and Episode 4 of Full Metal Brotherhood going up as well. And if you're just here for the My Hero, I'll see you next Saturday, same place, same time. Like, share, favorite, subscribe, and as always,